MAGA stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans. MAGA stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing.
Get out.
All right, you guys are going to love this. It's time to introduce you to a new wing of the resistance that we call the Bros. Now, the Bros have been putting their life on the line lately to point out the cruelty of the second Trump admin. Just look at this one. Former Vikings punter gets arrested at a city council meeting. He gets pushed to the ground, pinned down after saying that the MAGA movement is kind of like a Nazi movement. Now, he also did do a form of peaceful protest that I'll show you in 1 second, but this dude is a bro, and he's pushing back against Trump. Even Emma Vigeland said he should run for office. This speech was a better articulation of the cruelty of Trump's movement than we've seen from 90% of Democrats, and I absolutely agree. I want to show you former Vikings punter Chris Kluwe confronting this town hall, but first, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let me run you down some other bros. Beyond just football players, we have this dude who works at Barstool Sports. Now, Barstool Sports is like the definition of a bro company. It's got all these bros working for them. They talk about sports all the time. They're always cracking open beers and making jokes. It's a cool company. They've got cool podcasts. But it's nice to see them taking a stand against Donald Trump, or at least this dude. He begins to freak out because he lives in New York, and Trump is reversing congestion pricing in New York, which a lot of New Yorkers are not very happy with. Now, congestion pricing, really quickly, is when you charge people to drive on the road during a certain time of day to disincentivize clutter, disincentivize people from clogging the highway, and incentivize them to use public transportation. Now, you can then use the money that you get from charging people to help rebuild the city, rebuild the streets, and this dude was not happy that they were taking it away. Check this out.
In what might be the worst political move this century, Donald Trump is reversing congestion pricing, no longer taxing drivers going into Manhattan, which means all the fucking traffic's coming back. I demand a recount. Stop the steal 2024. Somebody get Kamala on the line. Somebody call Obama, Michelle, or Barack. I don't care. Someone with a brain who knows how much it fucking sucks in Manhattan to drive. Somebody get me a bleeding heart pussy liberal with pronouns. We can tell them we can take the congestion pricing and go buy gender-neutral bathrooms. I don't give a fuck. Just someone who's gonna keep the congestion pricing going so there's no traffic.
And by the way, the guy's a comedian, so he's wrapping this all in a little bit of edgy comedy, which is fine because it got 1.9 million views. This anti-Trump video got 1.9 million views from a Barstool bro. He even wrote, in the worst political move of all time, Donald Trump announces he is, quote, team traffic. See, that's better branding. That is better marketing than half of the Democrats right now. Coming up with a hashtag like, hey, Donald Trump is pro-traffic, I guess he's team traffic. People latch onto that.
Legitimately life-changing, the best government decision that has ever happened to me. And because some fucking people are complaining, Donald Trump has to swoop in and be the hero again? I'm so sick of him pretending like he cares about poor people. He's not. He just does it to get your fucking attention. I'm so sick of these people getting duped by this guy. They think that he cares about them, when if they were in the same room with him, he would probably spit on them. He wouldn't even let them look him in the eye. But because he gets to be like, I'm the hero, I saved these people, they fucking love him, they're getting played.
All right, and I get that it doesn't seem like a big deal, that some random dude is yapping and ranting and raving, but again, this got over 1 million views, almost 2 million views online, and it's just a sports bro calling Donald Trump out with a little bit of a foul mouth, which is what we need nowadays, and that loops perfectly back in to this football player who decided, hey, I'm going to take matters into my own hands and call out MAGA as, a quote, a Nazi movement. And for a little bit of context, what was happening here at this city council, if we go to this article, is they were actually putting in a new plaque that references MAGA with the words magical, alluring, galvanizing, adventurous, MAGA. So, in a protest speech against that plaque, Kluwe, the former punter, said this.
Unfortunately, it's clear that this council does not listen, so instead I'm going to take my time to say what MAGA has stood for these past 3 weeks. MAGA stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans. MAGA stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing. MAGA stands for firing the people overseeing our nuclear arsenal. MAGA stands for firing military veterans and those serving them at the VA, including canceling research on veteran suicide. MAGA stands for cutting funds to education, including for disabled children. MAGA is profoundly corrupt, unmistakably anti-democracy, and most importantly, MAGA is explicitly a Nazi movement. You may have replaced a swastika with a red hat, but that is what it is. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience.
Get out.
Okay, so they arrested him pretty harshly, and let me just clarify. They didn't arrest him because of the words that he said. They weren't arresting him for saying the stuff about MAGA. They're arresting him because he did a form of peaceful, nonviolent protest, as he says himself, and he stormed the stage, and then he wouldn't leave, according to the reports. He was sitting there and wouldn't leave, and they had to arrest him. So, either way, they shouldn't have arrested him, and either way, what he said was absolutely 100% true. I think it's important. I think it's important that we have bros. I keep using the word bros, but for real, dudes out there who are former football players or who are just like sports fans, Barstool Sports workers, saying that, hey, Trump is cruel, his policy sucks, his admin sucks, messaging really does matter, and it can't always be this top-down messaging from the Democrats' leader because we don't really have a strong leader. Like in 2012, it was really easy to adopt the message that Obama was giving out top-down. Obama's at the top, he gives a message, all the Democrats fall in line and they say that message. But now, number one, we don't really have a strong leader, but also we don't have a strong message most of the time. So we have to go bottom up sometimes. When I say bottom up, I mean people like Vikings punters giving our message at city council meetings. This dude, the Barstool Sports guy, or even Luke, friend of the show Luke. This guy has been blowing up on TikTok because he just eviscerates conservatives. Watch this clip.
So can one of you oxygen-thieving maggots who are slower than a nudist trying to get through a fucking barbed wire fence explain to me exactly when day one is? Because I've been waiting for day one for 3 goddamn weeks. Because as I recall, egg prices and gas prices were supposed to be bottomed out on day fucking one. They're higher now than they were under Biden. The ochre orangutan tweeted about how Biden inflation was up. No, see, Donnie boy, that's not how this works anymore. You don't get to just pawn shit off on who's in charge because you're in charge now. Of every executive order that this flaming fuckwit has made, there is nary a one that benefits the middle class of America. But don't worry. The Republicans that call themselves the party of fiscal responsibility have revealed that the tax plan they want to implement will only cost the U.S. $4.5 trillion fucking dollars that they plan to pay for by raising the debt ceiling $4 trillion. More like the party of fiscal fucking hypocrisy. So for you fuckwits who are dead from the neck up that believe the guy who lied 34,000 fucking times his first term, I've got some bad news for you. Those day one promises are never going to happen.
Very well said from Luke. I always enjoy his content. I'll link him in the description below, but let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like where the resistance is going with the bros pushing back? Of course, we already have had women pushing back. We have had minorities, women of color pushing back, but I think it's important to have dudes, just normal dudes, talking about how Donald Trump is cruel and that's not how we should operate. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, drop a comment. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.